Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm finally doing a completed flip through of this journal. It is an A5 Hobonichi memo book, which I kind of was using as a stopgap between like two chunkier journals as I waited for a new one to arrive. Without further ado, I'm going to start flipping through it because there's like 40 odd finished pages in here for me to talk about. Before I open the book, this archive sticker is from Megan Rhiannon, or Petite Gloom. I got it as a freebie on her Patreon, but I don't know whether it's in her shop or not. It might be. If not, join her Patreon. It's great. Anyway, yeah, into the book. So I started this journal on my birthday, which I thought was quite nice actually. I can't explain why, but it feels right somehow to like start a new journal at the start of a new year of life. I don't know whether that's just a me thing, but I liked it. And my first entry was just about my birthday and what I got up to. I went on a day trip to Lindisfarne, little tidal island off the coast of Northumberland, which is just like medieval history heaven, basically. So much went on there. And I did go when I was like 13 or 14, but I didn't appreciate it because I was like 13 or 14 and not into history yet, so I wanted to go back as an adult and like soak it all in, and I did. We had a grand old time. We went to two pubs, one of which is in a photo here. We met a very cute cat in the graveyard. So yeah, I really liked how this turned out, like a nice mix of photos and writing in my trusty fountain pen, one of which is here. This is a Parker pen. I love Parker. Anyway, on to the next page because more photos of Lindisfarne. It's just a beautiful place. I mean, look at that arch. It's so, oh, I love it. I love it. And there's like beaches galore because it is an island. Sometimes it's cut off by the tide and then the tide makes it not an island again. Anyway, yeah, beaches. Statue of St. Cuthbert. I studied him at university and some of the like medieval writings about him are just kind of hilarious, to be honest. Like, he apparently just like had otters that used to come out of the sea and wash his feet for him, as you do. He also like was a man after my own heart because he was a hermit and they kept trying to get him to like stop being a hermit and be a bishop instead. And for years he was like, no, I just want to live on this island by myself. Leave me alone. And he finally relented, but then went back to the island. So St. Cuthbert, everybody's favourite hermit. Love that guy. Oh, this is already unhinged. Let's move on. Yeah, this was just like the final bit about my birthday. I printed out some of the stuff I got, including this keyboard, which is just like edging into shot here. I really love it. It's like typewritery. Got some really nice boots that it turned out the black version were half price, so I bought them as well. I got some more brush pens for my journaling and this beautiful print, which is now on my office wall that I got at Lindisfarne Priory gift shop. It's lovely. Has the Northern Lights in it and like a medieval ruin, and they're two of my favourite things, so I was always going to get that. And then here we kind of have a weekly recap of like the week after my birthday, which I had off work and had like lots of really nice plans. Saw lots of friends and family, had my birthday cake a day late because we were too tired to do it on my birthday. And yeah, just wrote about that there with this really nice little pressed flower sticker here. I just really love these and I thought it matched the colours of the rest of the page, so I plonked it in there. Here was the end of the weekly recap with some nice plant stickers, or I guess it's like washi tape from the washi tape shop. They're really nice either way. Love the cool green tones. And then at the end of the page I had a bit of a gap, so I put in a little update about what I was reading at that time, which was A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas, which if you've watched my last video I have given up on. I just couldn't do it anymore. This was when I was like 29% through and I'd already been reading it for like over a month, and I was trying not to admit to myself that I didn't like it that much because I really wanted to like it because everybody likes it, but yeah, I just didn't, to be honest. So moving on, March review. What I like to do at the end of every month is just do a recap of what went well, what didn't go well, whether or not I'm like fulfilling my intentions for the month or even the year. My intentions for March was to just like get into some good habits, like doing a bit more walking because I'm getting achy and sore again, eating fewer takeaways because my stomach doesn't like them, but my brain does, and it's a whole thing. Reading more, time blocking my days, and to be honest, like looking back, that was a lot of intentions to set for 1 month when I am a chronically tired and autistic and just like very haphazard person. Like, that's a lot to get done in 1 month. So yeah, it didn't go so well by the looks of it. I don't think I managed to get into any of those hobbies, in fact. So yeah, lesson learned there. Don't try to take on too much because you'll do none of it. But some good stuff did happen in March, obviously, like my birthday. Also started playing Baldur's Gate 3 because my partner got me it for my birthday. I'm still playing it. It's great. I just love it so much. I'm like taking it slowly because I don't want my playthrough to be over. Like, I'm loving the character I created and like the party so much that I don't want it to end. So I'm taking it really slow, but I'm still loving it. I really loved this daffodil sticker by Megan Rhiannon. Daffodils and March kind of go together. So I put that in here, as well as some emojis from the Coffee Monsters Co. Also shout out to this washi tape here, which is by Salon Creative. And I love that it's like this olive green colour. Stunning. On to the next page though, and that was my intentions for April. Another lovely sticker by Megan Rhiannon here. I have Converse pretty much exactly like that, just without like the spider's web. So, you know, it spoke to me. In April, I set a few intentions again, and I haven't like officially recapped the month yet, but like I can tell you, I just didn't really do any of these again. I think this month I'm really gonna take it basic, and my intention will be to just like, I don't know, get to bed on time every night, and that's it, because I'm just learning I need to set extremely low expectations for myself these days. And I do feel like getting to bed on time will then support a lot of other like positive changes in my life because I won't be knackered all the time. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted in April to just like focus more on my hobbies and less on work, which did not happen. Like quite the opposite, in fact. Not good. I wanted to read more, which didn't happen at first because I still kept trying to push through a court of Wings and Ruin. And then when I finally gave up on it and started reading other things, suddenly I've really enjoyed reading again and been doing it loads. Funny that. And I also wanted to stay fit and healthy because, yeah, I'm just very unfit and have lots of aches and pains. So I wanted to improve that. And I didn't. Again, in fact, I now have a new ache. My knee has started aching for no apparent reason because it's not like I do anything that would have made my knee ache. I don't run. I barely even walk, to be honest with you, which is probably why I ache so much. So yeah, maybe May will be the time when I start doing that again. But no, I already said only one intention, and that is sleep. Maybe June will be the time when I finally get fit and healthy. Probably not, if I'm being honest. Next, I did like a little Easter weekend recap of what I got up to there. Again, saw friends, saw family. One of my friends made me like a birthday picnic belatedly, and it was incredible. Still thinking about that picnic now. We ate it just like in the shadow of the cathedral. It was very majestic and just had a great day. On Easter Sunday itself, I didn't really do much because turns out I had massive cramps. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, didn't really do much at all on Easter Sunday because I felt like rubbish. And then Easter Monday, I went back to work because I forgot to take Easter Monday off because I don't get it off automatically. But that's fine. You know, I had a lot to do, so it was almost nice to just like be able to power through some of that. And on this side of the page, I stuck in some photos from that day I mentioned where I had a picnic with my friend in the shadow of the cathedral. That's the view we had. Saw some lovely daffodils. There's a churchyard in town, which is just like this pocket of peace and quiet. And it's just brilliant for like bird watching, and it's beautiful. And we sat there for a bit and just had like a very chill time. And my favourite bridge was looking beautiful. If you've ever been to Durham, you'll know there are a lot of bridges, so it's like valid to have a favourite. There's like 5 of them, and this one's definitely my favourite. It's the prettiest. And then at the bottom of the page, I had some space to fill, so I added a quote from Jane Eyre, one of my favourite books of all time, about spring. Because it was feeling quite springy on that day. But then the thing happened that always happens in the UK, where we have like one sunny day and everyone's like, oh, spring's here. And then it's freezing cold and rainy for the next like 4 weeks. Which, yeah, definitely happened this year. April was so cold and rainy. But it is starting to feel like spring a bit now. Anyway, yeah, that was at least a nice springish day, that one day. This was a weekly recap where I hadn't really wanted to write in detail about what had happened because I'm pretty sure my mental health was like in the toilet this week, was not having a good time mentally, was not for most of April, to be honest. But in this week, it was like the start of it, and I was trying to find the pockets of good. And that week was when I got my hair dyed half ginger, which I'm still loving, by the way. Definitely glad I made that choice. And I also got my nails done in like a beautiful maroon colour that week, which is one of my favourite colours ever. So I was like, see, good things can happen. Mostly to do with getting like various hair and beauty procedures. But yeah, was very happy with both the hair and the nails. And then this is a commonplace page about something really random. Basically, I got into one of those like rabbit holes of looking at articles on the internet about really bizarre things and landed on this one about a town called Ravensrod or Ravensrod, which existed in like medieval times and then just fully was like lost into the sea. It was just like completely flooded and destroyed by a storm, and they're trying to do like archaeology on the seabed to try to like find evidence of the town because like it did exist. It turns out that like it was quite the place when I did a bit of reading on it. Some of the people there were pirates. Some of the people there had like a feud with the people of Grimsby, which is like where half of my family's from. So I was like, oh my God, awkward. And yeah, it basically just had a reputation for being a bit of a dodgy place where all sorts of nefarious things would happen. And when it got like washed away into the sea, all of the churchy people of the time were like, oh, well, that's what you get for being pirates. One final cool fact about Ravensrod is they think that the name for it came from the Norse for raven's tongue because of like the shape of the land, which very cool, very cool. So yeah, I just wrote like a page and a bit about that, as you do. Anyway, this was a big journal entry from one single day, in fact. It seems like I was having a lot of chill time, probably because, you know, I had been feeling crap and wanted the chill time. Decorated with some emojis from Coffee Monsters Co. and Salam Creative, and these plant stickers from Mary Berry Studios, which she very kindly gifted to me. And I think I went with the plant theme because I had done a lot of gardening that weekend. I'd done like all of the weeding that I'd been putting off for months, and it took forever, but it was really satisfying. And there's something just so healing about being in the garden and just digging in the soil, you know? So yeah, had a good day that particular Sunday. Here we have like a little mini entry about an album that I was listening to, the new one by Lizzie McAlpine, who did Ceilings, and lots of other good songs on that album, I may say, but you'll probably have heard of Ceilings. She had a new album out called Older, and yeah, I really liked it, to be honest. Like, it was really stripped back, chill, lots of piano, which I really like. The songs individually didn't like grab me as much as some of the ones on her previous album did, but I still like it, and like it's still in my rotation for like the few moments of my time when I'm not listening to Taylor Swift. I'm still listening to this. It's a good one. I was also listening to Boy Genius that day, apparently, because there's a little lyric from Letter to an Old Poet there, which I think is my favourite of their songs. Although I do love like all of their songs, so it's hard to pick a favourite, but we're gonna go with that. Here's a mini entry about a special interest of mine, which is birds. Garden birds. I'm a big bird watcher, and here I was recording the birds I've seen in the garden so far this spring. We always have loads of goldfinches and chaffinches. Like, they've just been hanging around for years now. We love them. But we've had some new birds this year, including a chiffchaff, which is just like the cutest name you've ever heard. Like, chiffchaff, come on. There was one in my garden, which is cool. That had never happened before. And yeah, I thought I would start actually recording the birds I see, just for posterity. So that's what I was doing here. Another long journal entry here today, which seems to have just been me ranting about things, complaining about things. Onto happier things, I was writing about the media I was consuming. Big old rant about Baldur's Gate 3. That's my character. She's a wood elf called Eleanor, and she is a bard, and she plays the lute, or the lyre. She has both now, and it's just a great time. I love that in battle I can just like play music to distract people. Like, that's just very cool to me. And also shout insults at people to distract them. I'm really glad I chose Bard for my first playthrough. It's a lot of fun. This was when I had given up on Akawa, and I'd decided already that I was going to read a strong female character next. I'm about halfway through, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm sure I'll talk more about it at a later date when I write a review of it, but anyway. Here is where I was writing about the fact that despite being a massive Pokemon fan, I just like completely missed that they announced a new game like 3 months ago. I don't know how I managed that, especially because it's like a Pokemon Legends game, and Pokemon Legends Arceus was incredible. I was obsessed with that, and I was always saying like, I hope they make another one. And then they announced one, and I was just like completely oblivious. So yeah, thought I'd write about that just because I wanted to, but also to use my Pokemon stickers, my buddies Feraligatr and Quagsire. I am a big fan of Gen 2, hence these guys. Pokemon Crystal was my first ever video game, so yeah, always has a special place in my heart. Here I'd used probably like my favourite washi tape of all time as a divider. It's the Monet themed one by the Coffee Monsters Co. And afterwards we just had a bit more journaling. It seems I was still not feeling great there, judging by the emoji. But I was excited by one thing, which is that for the first time this year I'd seen bats in my garden. I love bats. Last year we had bats just flying around every night, catching flies or whatever. And they're back. They're back this year. I'm so excited to spend basically every night about sundown just going to the window and watching the bats. I always know when they've arrived because my cat starts like jumping at the back door as if she thinks she's got a chance to catch them, which she doesn't because first of all, there's glass between them. And second of all, even if she was allowed outside, she's not going to catch a bat. Like, she can't jump that high. She has delusions of grandeur. Yeah, but anyway, I love the bats so much. This is a very, very long spread actually about a weekend I spent in Northampton visiting one of my friends, my dear friends from school. We had a great time. We chose this weekend so that we could listen to the Tortured Poets Department together for the first time. We basically spent the whole release day just like slowly working our way through the album and like reading the theories about it, trying to figure out like what was going on, because it's, yeah, very complicated lyrically at times and you're trying to figure out what's actually happening. But yeah, we had a great time. We saw one of our other good friends who came to join us for food and chats on 2 of the nights. And yeah, it was a really good time. And honestly, like I'd said that my mental health wasn't great in April, and like this weekend was kind of what brought me out of it and cheered me right up. So thank you, Jenny and Lewis and Maddie and Sylvie, if any of you are watching. Sylvie's a cat, so like unlikely, but you never know. I used lots of stickers from Mary Berry Studios here again, also kindly gifted. Here's the end of that big long spread about the weekend. Here is some note-taking on a YouTube video that my pal Bez shared on Discord about managing multiple interests. And for the record, that is the 3rd time I've attempted to say that, because it's actually really hard. Like, manage multiple interests. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a video on that, and it really resonated with me because I have like 3 main hobbies, I would say, of reading, journaling, and gaming. And I often really struggle to actually fit all of them into my life at once. Like, yeah, I don't know how, but I just never seem to be able to find the time for all 3 in like the same week. And I would like to. So got some good tips here from this video about just like time management and planning out your days and not just like floating on through them and then being like, oh, why did I get nothing done today that I wanted? Even the fun things. Because I was just sitting here, like not doing anything. So yeah, been trying to actively plan my time a bit more, even like scheduling time for fun stuff so that I actually do it. And also just accepting that I probably can't like pursue all the things I want to right now. Like, there are other hobbies I would love to take up, like D&D, for example. Would love to do that, but just probably don't have the time, and that's okay. That can be a hobby for later on. So yeah, that was a great video and had some helpful wisdom. I'll see if I can remember to link it in the description, but if I don't, prod me and I'll link it in the description. Here we go. Here we reach the 6-page extravaganza about the Tortured Poets Department. I wrote like a whole page of just like general thoughts about it and then went through every single song and wrote some stuff. And there are 31 songs, so buckle up. It's going to be a long few pages if you don't like Taylor Swift. I do adore this album. I do think some of the songs just a filler and didn't really need to be on there. They're in like quite a lot of different genres and like styles, and I think it's natural that a single person might not like all of them, you know? And to be clear, like I don't actually dislike any of them. It's just like there are 26 that I really love, and then the other 5 I'm like, I'll take it or leave it, you know? It was an experience to like have it wash over you for the first time, because like it really wasn't what a lot of us expected it to be about, or you know, it wasn't about the person that a lot of us expected it to be about, and that was a bit jarring at first, but it is great. And I just got like such vibes from it that she doesn't really care what anybody thinks anymore and is just like creating music for herself, which good on you. Who cares what anybody thinks, you know? You gotta do what makes you happy. And if that is making very, very sad and angry songs, then so be it. Because yeah, there's a lot of very sad and angry songs on this album, and those are my favourites, to be honest. Like, I talked about this a bit last week in that video, but I am still really loving like the most depressing songs on the album the most. So like So Long London, obsessed. Really, really enjoying LOML still, and The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. I think Smallest Man is like creeping up my ranking. Could be number one these days because the bridge is just so angry and incredible. I also really like The Black Dog. A big fan of I Look in People's Windows. I think it's just very like wistful, whimsical. Love the guitar, it's just great. Peter has also like snuck up on me as a sleeper favourite. The first couple of times I heard it, I was like, it's okay, but yeah. But then suddenly I got the chorus stuck in my head of just like that, you said you were going to grow up, then you were going to come find me repetition. Just, it got stuck in my brain and now I kind of love it. The Bolter is what I've got in my head today, which is good actually, because at least I've got a cheerful song in my head today, you know? And yeah, I also really do like the manuscript. It was like the closest I came to actually like getting emotional when listening to the album, because I think it is going to resonate with a lot of people who are looking back on their experiences in like a new light and being like, okay, maybe I have to like look backwards and achieve closure before I can move forwards. So yeah, that one touched me. So yeah, I basically, in conclusion, love this album. I always liked it, but the more times I've listened to it, the more I really love it. Like, it's emotionally complex and messy. It's very chaotic and at times unhinged. And I never really thought I would describe a Taylor Swift album as chaotic and unhinged, but I'm kind of glad that we're in a timeline where I can, because I'm enjoying it. All right, we're getting to the end now. This is the spread I created in the last video, the weekly recap of the week of the 22nd. I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want to find out what happened that week, go watch the other video, because I already talked about it for like 20 minutes. Here's my friend the Sparrowhawk, who I haven't seen since last weekend. Hope they're okay. Hope they're still doing well. Would love it if they came back to the garden, because they're so pretty. Like, look at that colour. Oh, so nice. And then I did a bit of a journal on Monday about, first of all, how glad I was that I recorded that video. It was the first one I'd done in like a month, and I just love this so much. Like, I come out of every recording session, I guess, like so energized and happy, I think, because I get to talk about something I really love, journaling, and that really boosts my mood. Also wrote about work, and I was trying to take it a bit easier, which I did very well at the start of this past week, and then it just progressively got worse again until my work-life balance was non-existent again, and that is on me. Still working on that one, still got to get a handle on it. And yeah, final note at the end there is I did start reading Strong Female Character, and still pretty gripped by it. And now these are the last two pages I'm going to show. There are some more at the end that are just like private journaling that I don't want to show, but this is a thing I did today, actually, where I wanted to make like almost like an April mood board, but like a retrospective one. So I guess reflecting on the month, but in memes. So I did. And this kind of shows you the state of my mental well-being during April. We've got Isabel from Animal Crossing, just like talking about living on no sleep and being too busy all the time, which, same. One of my favourite memes, back from my medieval master's degree days, we loved this why though meme. I don't know why he looks like that. Medieval artists were just working on a different plane of existence to us, I guess. But yeah, why? Why was April like that? Nobody knows. Also did a lot of internal screaming in April, so I thought this excerpt from one of the Greek tragedies really hit home for me this month. This is Taylor Swift looking just deeply uncomfortable, because I also spent most of April deeply uncomfortable. We've got some of my usual pals, the raccoons. I will never get sick of raccoon memes, and these two, yeah, too many situations. I was in fact very tired, and I did want to just live in delusion instead of dealing with the reality of life, which probably made me feel worse, to be fair, because you have to deal with things to move past them. Anyway, last up we have Pingu looking just real mad. Pingu is not happy. I was reminded of the existence of Pingu last night when he came up at a dinner I was having at my friend's. I don't know why. I can't remember why we started talking about Pingu, but we did. And Pingu was like, honestly, one of the highlights of my childhood. Absolutely bloody loved Pingu. Loved watching Pingu again and again, just the same episodes on repeat, which was probably, thinking about it, an early sign of the autism, but never mind. Yeah, love Pingu. such nostalgia. It was really weird, if we're being honest. Like most kids' TV of the 90s, it was strange, but a lot of fun. And if you're American and don't know what Pingu is, because other American friends have told me they don't know what it is, YouTube it. You'll get very worried for the people of Europe. But yeah, that is what we were watching as kids. Just nonsensical penguins. It was a good time for everyone. Anyway, yeah, closing page is this print from Megan Rhiannon, which is about basically just like the importance of rest. And I just wanted to remind myself of that because I've forgotten it vastly in recent weeks. Usually because I've been working lots and just haven't left myself like enough time to rest adequately. And that needs to change because there's just like a direct relationship between the state of my mental health and how well I'm managing work-life balance. So rest is going to be on the agenda for the foreseeable. It helps that this is a bank holiday weekend, so a whole extra day of rest for me. And hopefully I can take this attitude into May. But yeah, that is that. A completed journal flip through. Never thought I'd see the day. It has been a while since I actually finished a notebook rather than like hopping midway through one. So I'm quite proud of myself actually. Next, I'll be moving on to my Freely Noted by Planner Monkey Co. So you can look forward to seeing that on the channel. I'm going to start writing in it properly tonight, I think, which I'm really excited for. So yeah, thank you for making it to the end, if you have made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed this flip through. I hope you all had a better April than I did. And I'll see you in the next video.